Hello and welcome back. Myself Vikas Shakya. I welcome you all on my channel back, and we are going to discuss about the Holy Science, chapter number 1, and its three verses, verse number 11, 12, and 13. You already know that the title of this chapter is Vedas, and in this chapter, Yukteswar Giri has explained, Sri Yukteswar Giriji has explained the essence of Vedas with respect to the creation of the world, how this world or how this entire creation came into existence, and how the supreme energy, which is known as the God, the Brahma, Paramatman, whatever you say, right? How that energy came into, manifested in these many forms. How that manifested into the different forms, that all has been explained in Vedas clearly. And Sri Yukteswar Giriji, along with other, just like other scholars of Hinduism, other scholars of Sanatan Dharma, they understood it and they were able to explain it. Let me tell you that this book has been written in 1893, even before the invention of electron. Even before the J.J. Thomson talked about the electron, this book was written. And everything which we know today regarding electricity, regarding magnetism, all that has been explained in this book. Many people try to say that you are trying to fit the science into the Sanatan religion or in your scriptures. No, I'm not trying to fit in. In fact, your science has fitted the knowledge of Vedas, right? So, whatever has been explained here in this book was written in 1893, right? So whatever has been written in Vedas that was, understood, or you can say that was decoded by our beloved Sri Yukteswar Giriji, and then he explained all these things in his book. This has very well explained. So don't try to say that yes, now after all the things have been invented, then we are trying to say that yes, see, everything was there in the Vedas. Vedas is the science. No, Veda is the science. In fact, it is science, and in fact it was decoded by the scholars of India like Yukteswar Giriji, Yogananji, many other scholars, right? So we are going to discuss about the verse number 11, 12, and 13. In the previous video, we saw one thing that every particle. See the previous video. Every particle we considered it as in the form of a rod. Every particle is just like a electrical dipole. This electrical dipole has plus, minus, and a neutral in the middle, right? From the plus, what was formed? From the plus, the senses were formed. Senses doesn't mean eyes. Senses means eyes, eye of eyes, right? Eyes of eye of eye, right? Not exactly eye. That electrical power which makes our eye to work as acting like a, acting like a electric power which can sense the visions. Whatever we see that can be perceived by us, that electrical power is the sense. That is made up of the positive end of the electrical dipole. The electrical dipole is nothing but that particle which was basically polarized. One end was, one end was getting attracted towards the world, and the other end was getting attracted towards the God, right? So something like this was there. This is the particle, God particle, and when it starts vibrating, when it starts, when the when kind of vibration starts in it, what you say, there is a specific word. You can compare it with big bang. When the big bang happens, or when this particular particle starts, vibrating, then one wave in this direction and the other wave in this direction starts running. This direction is this creation in which we live, and this direction is the direction of God. Here is the God particle. God particle is getting attracted towards here, right? So this is known as the world of God, and this is known as the, world created by God, right? This is the Shakti of power of God. In Hindi you call it Shakti, right? So this is creation and this is godly part, right? This is the godly wave, right? So this has been explained as it is in the book. He has not taken the name of Big Bang. He has not explained anything about the Big Bang. He has not, anywhere he has not used this word Big Bang, because this Big Bang has been, invented, a new word invented by our scientist recently, right? Not recently, I mean, at least, 20 to 25 years back, they have started using more often when they were doing this experiment, the Big Bang, right? So rather than Big Bang, in this book, he has written that when it starts vibrating, then it travels in both the direction, right? So this is the creation, and the backward direction is the God's world, right? That is known as the God's world, or you can say God is nothing but energy. That's kind of consciousness. Just like we are manifested by that energy, similarly he can be manifested. He can manifest itself with the help of this energy, right? This energy manifests that one as well. That body can also be manifested, which is known as the avatara, or which is known as the idol of the God, right? If we can be created, then why this God particle cannot be created like us? That's the very simple thing. And when it's manifested in a human body, but it keeps the nature of this, even being here, if you keep the nature of this wave, then you are known as avatara. That is the technical definition of avatara, or you can say the incarnation of God, right? If your nature, if your entire wavelength, our body has an entire wavelength, right? Our body, our complete nervous system creates a kind of aura. That aura has a specific vibration. That vibration is obviously impacted due to our inner conscience, which decides that what kind of work we should do, what kind of actions we take based on our attraction towards a certain kind of lust. So based on that, we are created like this. But if you are someone who looks like a human body, but inside you there is an aura whose frequency and whose wavelength equates to this part, equates to the frequency and wavelength of this part, then in that case you are known as avatara, or the incarnation of God, right? That is the technical definition of avatara. Okay, so this positive part makes the senses, the eye of eye, the ear of ear, and all those things. This negative part, right? This negative part is the subject of these positive parts. I mean, if you take eyes, then seeing is the subject of this sense, which is eye, right? Which is the eye of the eye, that positive power, and its negative counterpart is seeing is a feeling. So these feelings are nothing but the negative charges, right? So from all these negative charges, the seeing, the subject are created, seeing, hearing, right? And from the because of the tongue, taste, all these, the taste is a feeling. So every feeling is a negative charge. So all these negative charge, when they are accumulated, they are created into such a form, they contain such a form, they are converted into such a form, so that from this form, or from this material, when they are combined together, these negative charges, when they are combined together, they get condensed. When they get condensed, they are presented or manifested in the five forms. They gets converted, this negative charge converted into the five different forms, and these five different forms are nothing but the five basic elements of the nature, which is earth, water, third one is fire, then air, then fifth one is space. Okay, so from these five negative charges, the five kind of elements are created, right? These five kind of elements are created, and when they are created, this is the motivation. This negative charge, or you can say the feeling, is the motivation for creation of these elements, these materialistic things. These are the materials, these are the matter, right? But when they are converted into the matter, then this negative portion is utilized. Everything is created from this, which takes a manifested form, which is manifested or which takes a physical form, is created from the neutral part, so that we can create a connection between positive and negative. Positive is the sense and the negative is the subject of that sense, right? So because these two need to be met, so from the neutral part these elements are created, and from these elements only our entire body has been created, and these elements internally contains the negative charges, right? Because from these negative charges only this has been created, so inherently they create these negative charges, and that is why our entire existence is running towards the feelings. Our entire existence runs towards the feeling. Either we feel happy or sad based on whatever we want to achieve. Like we want to test something, our mind, our manas, try to achieve something, our ego try to achieve something, right? So all these feelings are the negative charges, and from these negative charges only these manifested things, these materials have been created, and from these materials only, these five kind of fundamental elements we are created. So that is why we are running towards the materialistic things, because we have been made of the negative part of the thing, right? But again, we have this positive thing as well, right? We have this positive thing as well in our body, because the sense of senses, the eye of eyes, this is there in our body, right? So if we move towards this positive part, then we can separate ourselves from the worldly desires, the lust towards this world. It doesn't make like it will make you useless. People think that we will become useless if we are not in if you are not getting involved in the worldly affairs. Then what is the use? What we should do? We are in this world, how can we separate out ourselves? So the thing is that you remain in this world. If you move yourself towards this, then you remain in this world. But the thing is that you do every work just as a need, not as a lust. You work as per the need and not as per the lust. Everything which comes to your way as a work, you do it, but you don't attach your feelings, you don't attach your desires, your lust with whatever you are doing. That is what Lord Krishna has told in Bhagavad Gita, that do your actions, but don't attach yourself with the result of that action. Don't get attached with any kind of feelings with that work, right? So this is what has been explained. So this is the technical description of that verse as well in the Bhagavad Gita, and this is what has been explained in this chapter in verse number 11 and 12. Now we are going to discuss about the verse number 13. Let us see what does verse number 13 say. Let's see what does verse number 13 say. So verse number 13 talks about the seven heavens and seven patals, right? Seven patals. Let me just tell you, we will discuss it in detail. We can discuss it somewhere else in some other playlist, because these patals, you need to understand to whom he has told these patals, right? Why they have told it patal? See, our spinal cord. This is our spinal cord. This is the head. This is the spinal cord. Consider this as the spinal cord. If you have read about these seven chakras, right? Seven chakras. Then these are the energy centers in our spinal cord, right? Starting from the tailbone of this spinal cord, the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. Seven chakras are there. If you want to find where they are, you can use something like this. You can put your this finger at the tailbone and make it like this, completely like this, and wherever your thumb is pointing to, there you will find the second chakra. From the second chakra, put like this, and wherever your thumb points, third chakra, and similarly till the seventh chakra you can find it, right? So there is a specific configuration of our body for these kind of chakras. Our chakras are very well aligned if we are, perfectly aligned in our body. If our body is perfectly aligned, then these chakras are also getting aligned. They are also aligned. If your spinal cord is straight, there is no problem in that. Then in that case, all these chakra have been perfectly aligned. You will be able to find the location of each of your chakra using this formula, right? So this is known as the chakra, seven chakra. These seven chakras are known as the seven patals. Patals usually, I will try to find out what we say it in English. Patals, mostly people think that it's hell. You can consider it as hell. Why? Because the flow of energy in this chakra is like this, from top to bottom, not from bottom to top. Because of the energy flow from top to bottom, all the negative things, I mean, what are the negativity? The thoughts, not thoughts, basically the feelings, feeling to touch, feeling to find something, feeling to test something which I feel is really tasty for me, right? All those things starts from the top. All those feelings are there, the negative charges are there, and since the negative charges are there, so from every organ you can see my organs like eyes, my mouth, the tongue, right? And everything through which we perceive this world, those things have certain subjects. We have studied that. Those things like eyes has a subject of seeing, tongue has a subject to test. Test is the subject of tongue, right? So all these things are here only. From here, all the negative charges, means the feelings, they start flowing. The by default they flow in the negative, in this direction, in the downward direction. Since they flow in the downward direction, so all the things, all the negative charges, which are the feeling, which are the lust, which are the resultant lust, all the resultant lust comes here at the bottom, and all that resultant lust, which is the negative feelings, are the bhava, right? In Hindi we call it bhava. All the negative bhava feelings, they combine together, they come together, and they create a seed of all these lust, all kind of lust, seed of all kind of lust. And this seed of all kind of lust is nearby the genitals, right? This is nearby the genitals. Since this is nearby the genitals, so what will happen? Because of being it has the nearby the genitals, all the seeds of all the lusts creates the biggest lustful element in our body, or you can say the biggest lustful organ of our body, right? So that is why the biggest lust is the lust of, physical attachment, or you can say the attachment towards the opposite sex, right? So this is what we understand here. So the genitals are there nearby the seventh chakra, the very first chakra. So these seven chakras are known as the patals or the hells. Why they are hells? Because they bring you down. If you are into lust, then you cannot think freely. Any kind of lust doesn't allow you to think freely, and if you can't think freely, you cannot create any kind of, uh, you know, um, good idea, good, decision, and you will not be able to perfectly utilize your entire power, right? So that is why this is the center of the lust, your genitals, right? So these are known as the seven hells. When you start moving upwards in the upper direction, then you start fetching all the lust from your genitals towards your internal powers, towards your internal chakras, right? Through these chakras, when it is this internal power flows backward, then all this internal power or all these internal feelings, they get reflected and they get dispersed all around. And since they are now flowing in the upward direction, so slowly you reach here on the top. When you reach here, then that thing which was working as a, kind of, um, poison, now it will start working like a nectar, right? In the downward direction, it becomes, the What you say, what I used right now. You say it poison, but on the upward direction when it moves, it becomes what it becomes? It becomes a kind of nectar, right? So when it moves upwards, then you are slowly opening up the petals of all your energy centers. And these energy centers only are known as the patals, right? This is the technical definition of patal. So there are seven patals. Seven patals means seven chakras, and seven chakras means seven different energy levels in your body. Right now, come to these seven heavens. What are the seven heavens? Right. So let me tell you. The first one is Satyaloka. Second one is Tapaloka. Third one is Janaloka. ठीक है? And then fourth one is Maharloka. Fifth one is Swarloka. Sixth one is Bhuvarloka. And then the last one is Earth, or you can say the Bhuloka. Right? So this is the thing. Okay? So Satyaloka, what does it mean? Satyaloka is the seed of all this universe. You cannot understand that how to explain it. Just like when you are in a sleep and you are not you are not into dreams. You are just sleeping. You don't know where you are. And when you wake up, then also you cannot explain what was that feeling, because you feel that I could not feel anything. There is nothing which can explain that feeling. So similar kind of thing is here in this seed, which is the energy level or the consciousness level of this Satyaloka, right? In case you are in the you are sleeping, right? And at the time you are sleeping, at that time as well, when you are sleeping without any dreams, then also you are alive. Then also there is a consciousness in you, right? Which is keeping you alive, right? So that consciousness is again a kind of consciousness. There is even being nothing, that nothing is everything. It is keeping you alive, right? So that is the seed of all the consciousness. That is the opening door of the all the consciousness, or that is the God particle's nature, or the nature of the God particle, or the vibration or the frequency of the God particle, where you cannot feel anything, right? You cannot feel anything from here. Nothing starts because the vibration is not there. I mean, the entire creation, whatever vibration levels are there, they are all inside you. Just like this entire world is vibrating, similarly you are vibrating inside you, right? So then come the Tapaloka. So this is seed. Nothing can be imagined here. Nothing can be explained here. You cannot explain anything about it. I have given you the example, the sleep without dreams. Then comes the Tapaloka. In case of Tapaloka, we don't have any kind of particle which is known as the child of God. Any kind of particle is not there. There is no such particle. Still now, there is no such particle came into existence. We know that at a level, the wave that is traveling, that starts manifesting it into a form of the light, right? Because the frequency of that wave equates to the frequency of the light, and hence from there onwards it looks like a light, right? And that light has dual nature. One is wave and the other one is particle. So because of that dual nature, the particles come to existence, and wave is also there, right? So there is no such thing as of now in the Tapaloka. I mean, this is also an energy level, or you can say a frequency layer. This is a frequency layer, this is a frequency layer, this is a kind of frequency layer which cannot be which can never be understood, or which can never be explained by anyone, just like the sleep without the dreams, right? So here in the Tapaloka there is no child of God. There is no such particle even created. Then come the Janaloka. Here the particles are created. Particles get created. Also you can see that here the wave is also there. So a wave nature is also there and the particle nature is also there, but there is no such light. I mean, before, it means what it trying to say, what this chapter or what this verse is trying to say. If we try to deduce it, there is nothing written like this in this book. But yeah, just I'm trying to understand myself and trying to put it in front of you that what is your thinking. So when it becomes particle and wave, even before the light, because light starts from the Maharloka, from the fourth one. But even before the Maharloka, in the Janaloka, you can see that there is a particle and the wave. Because wave is there, because it is traveling like this. It is traveling, but at certain point, the particles are getting generated. And also it is a wave, because wave is traveling. So apart from wave, the particles are also getting generated. They also start getting generated. So before the frequency of light, there is another frequency which probably science have not found in, and in the future it will find. Science will find it because Vedas are never wrong. Vedas are full of science. Whatever they have explained, you will find, science will find the same thing. People say that once science finds, then you try to fit in your Vedas or in your scriptures. No, dear my friend. I'm telling you today, on this date. What is the date? 6th of December. On this date only. I'm telling you that in future science will bring this thing that even before the frequency, I mean around the frequency range of light, where the where we are able to see the dual nature of light, like the wave and the particle. Before that, there is another energy or the frequency layer or the frequency level which also behaves like light. They will give it a separate name, and this is 6th of December. Keep it noted. In the future, science will find it. Okay, they will explain it. They will tell this, right? And because they will reach here, they are doing the efforts, not like the leftists who are just holding the hands of science just to show them that how smart they are. They are the superficial idiots, right? So they cannot do anything. They just try to find where something has been found and they enter there. They encroach into that area and they say that, yeah, we are the heroes. We talk logical. My dear friends, I'm telling you today on the 6th of December, in the future, science will find this. Mark my words. Then comes the Maharloka. From here, this particle and wave, particle plus wave, the wave nature and the particle nature convert into the light, right? So light has dual nature. We get it from here. So from here, at this frequency layer, in this entire creation, we start getting the light, right? From here, whatever particles were there on the top one, whatever particles were there, they were not lighted. But here, the particles get lightened, right? So here, when the particles were not lightened, which was the purest form, before it starts thinking that I have a separate existence, it starts, this is particle starts showing, after the light, this particle starts showing the behavior that yes, I have a separate existence. But till here, there is no such separate existence, and that is why this is known as the son of the god. These particles at the Janaloka, not at the Maharloka, at the Janaloka are known as the son of the god. But from here, they are not the son of the god, they are known as the Chitta. From here, the light travels. From here, we get the body of light, right? So all these particles, they contain the light. Otherwise, how we could see this much of light in this world? We say that there was nothing. It was all, darkness. If it was all darkness, then how come today I'm able to, make this video in the tube light, in the light of a tube light, in the light of a bulb? How I could do that if that was not there? It means that the light is present in each and every particle. If you know about the tube light, it's nothing. It's a kind of ionized gas. And when the gas particles gets ionized, they jump from one energy level to the other energy level in the different energy levels in the atom, right? When they jump from one energy level to the other energy level, in that case, any kind of energy which is released gets converted into the light when it ionizes the gases, right? So this thing causes the tube light to work. So it was only particle, gas particle, and ionization, just the ionization, because you just gave some kind of energy, you ionized it so that the electrons jumped from one energy level to the other energy level, and after that, as a result of that, the light was generated, and that is how the fluorescent tube started working, right? So from here, Maharloka, the particle plus wave, both attains a separate existence, and this Maharloka is the middle path, middle layer, right? Middle energy layer, or you can say the middle frequency layer, because on top there are three, on bottom there are three more. So from here, it acts like a connecting point between the God, the spirituality, and this world, or you can say the materialistic world. This is the connection point, this is the door between the two worlds, right? So this Maharloka, from where the light comes into existence, where the particles having light comes into existence, from there only it starts creating this world, right? And this is the middle point, or you can say the connecting point. Then come the Swarloka. When we talk about the Swarloka, then in that case what happens, that these particles, which are the light particles, these are surrounded by a certain frequency level, right? And that frequency level contains the electricity. What kind of electricity? Not the direct electricity. This contains that electricity which is generated because of the magnetism. We already know that magnetism, the magnetic property, was created for each of the particle, because this particle was getting attracted towards right direction and the left direction as well. Because of this kind of pulling, there was a polarity which was generated. One pole you can consider as north and the other pole you can consider as south. In the scriptures, this could have been written differently. The glossary could be different, but the concepts are same. So the north and the south you can consider like this. Because of this magnet, when this magnet is running, when this magnetism is running, because of that magnetism, the electricity gets generated. You have already studied this thing in your physics, that electricity is also generated due to the magnetic field. You can understand it because you might have seen a rule, Fleming's right hand rule, right? If this is this index finger, let me tell you the right hand rule. If this index finger is showing the direction of the magnetic field, where this thing, index finger, points to the north pole, and the backward direction of this finger indicates to the south pole, then in that case, this north and this south creates a magnetic field. So if the magnetic field has been applied in this direction and some force has been applied in this direction, right? Some force in the direction of thumb, you create like this. Everything should be perpendicular to each other, right? In that case, if this is the direction of the magnetic field and this is the direction of the force, then this will be the direction of the electric current. This middle finger will be the direction of the current. So because of magnetism, because of the magnet, the electricity is also generated, and on the basis of this concept only the dynamo was created, right? So electricity, because of the magnetism around these particles, this kind of electricity, the electricity was generated, which was the induced electricity. So electricity is nothing but the powerful magnet, but because of the powerful magnet of this entire creation, this is induced current. Whatever current is there, we feel that is not a permanent current, that is a induced current when we talk about the entire creation, right? So this is how this electricity is generated at this Swarloka. I am not telling you from anywhere else, I am just telling you it from the book. How much I believe, how much I have experienced, that is not the point. I'm just explaining the book. Please mind it. I'm just explaining the book. So whatever has been written here, based on the scientific concept, this has clearly written and makes very sense logically with respect to the science, with respect to the physics. It makes complete sense, right? So that is why I'm telling you. Otherwise, I could not have told you. If there was nothing to tell, there was nothing looking logical, I could not have told you. So whatever I have read in that book, that I'm explaining here. Don't ask any idiotic questions, especially if you are a leftist or if you are a kind of atheist, right? In that case, don't write any idiotic question. I literally don't like any questions from you guys. You don't have any kind of sense, right? So I don't like any question from you until you have any question related to this discussion, or if you find anything which does not make sense, right? Then only I will be able to explain it with respect to my understanding, because I have just explained everything with the help of that book. I don't have created any new knowledge, right? So then comes the Bhuvarlok. In case of Bhuvarlok, this is pure electric power. There is no magnetism. This is only electricity here. I mean, at a particular frequency layer, which is known as the Bhuvarlok, there is only electricity. Then comes the Earth, the Bhulok. Here, because of this electricity, because of this electric discharge, all the materials are created. This is known as the materialistic world, right? So these are the seven lokas, or you can say the seven frequency layers, right? So I hope you must have understood this, and with the help of this book, I have tried to explain the verse number 11, 12, and 13, or the science of the technical aspects of the seven uh, lokas, or you can say the seven worlds, or you can say the seven frequency layers. These worlds, these seven lokas or seven worlds, these are nothing. They are separate frequency layers in this entire universe, nothing else. So I hope you could have understood this, and if no, then please let me know in in the comment section. And with this, I would like to complete today's video. In next video, we'll meet soon. Till then, have a nice day, and bye bye. Thank you.